welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a bit different. It is a story that actually happened when I was going to UK. I was really traumatized when this happened. Now that I think about it, I feel like this could have been more worse than the thing that actually happened. Without any further delay, let's get into it. So let me give you a bit of backstory. So I was traveling to the UK in December 2024 because I had my PLAB 2 exam in January 21st. I think I was so occupied with a lot of stuff like flight booking, stays booking, and then exam preparation, and then travel, packing, and finance management, and insurance, and so many more things. So a lot of things were happening in my life at the same time, and I was just, how do I tell you this? I was not in the moment at that time. Like, even when I think about it, I don't have words to explain my feelings and how I was feeling. I was like really overwhelmed with everything that was happening around me, and on top of that, my family was not really happy that I was going to the UK because I work here as a full-time doctor. I have a permanent government job, and my parents specifically were like, why do you want to leave everything that is so secure and want to move to the UK? So at that time, I was like, I'm not gonna listen to anybody. I'm gonna do whatever it takes, and I want to listen to my heart, and I want to do what I really dreamt of since 2-3 years. So I didn't listen to anybody, and then I planned this trip, and not trip basically, but yeah, you can call this a trip. And then I packed my bag, packed every document, booked my flight, and on 15th of December, I was supposed to travel from Delhi to Abu Dhabi, and from Abu Dhabi to Manchester. I go to Delhi from Himachal, and then I stay one day with my friend. The same night, I had my flight from Delhi. I exchanged my currency. Everything was sorted. Everything was good to go. And I was like really nervous because I knew that my family wasn't in the support of this decision. So in back of my head, I was thinking like, what if I fail, and what if I prove them right and I prove myself wrong? So many things were going in my head, and still like I was trying to keep my calm and compose myself at the moment. So I say goodbye to my friend, and then one of the other guy, I met him while preparing for PLAB 2. So we were like group of 4 people, and then 2 of them, like 2 girls, were traveling on the different day, and the guy from the Delhi and me, we both were traveling on the same day. I was waiting for him at the airport. He then came with his family, and I met his family. Everything was good, and we just said goodbye to everybody who was there for us at the airport. So we go inside, we check in our bags, and everything was sorted. At this moment, I had one cabin bag in my hand, and then one backpack, and this backpack had all of my documents. And by all of the documents, I mean my 10th certification, my 12th certification, my degree, my birth certificate, my Aadhaar card, my everything. We boarded the flight. Remind you, I was fasting that day. It was Monday, and I was fasting. I usually fast on Monday. So I was fasting that day. Our flight took off around 3 in the morning on Monday morning, and then we reached Abu Dhabi around 11-ish. 11 in the morning according to Abu Dhabi's time, like local time. So we reached there, and then because I couldn't eat anything, I couldn't drink anything, so I was just drinking water, and I just laid down there on the Abu Dhabi airport, waited for the next flight to board. And then while I was waiting there, my head was like aching a lot. I couldn't really open my eyes because firstly, I was really dehydrated. Secondly, I was really tired. And thirdly, I didn't eat anything since I don't know, like 15 hours or so. I was really tired, but everything went really good, like no problem so far. So the other guy, he had his lunch and everything. So I was like, every second I was just praying that God, please don't let me fail. So that was the only thing that was going through my head all this time, and I kept on updating in my family group that I'm okay, I've reached here, and I am still in Abu Dhabi, I'm waiting for the next flight, and so on and so forth. Now we board the flight, and then we reach Manchester, I think around 7:30ish in the evening, and it was so cold, like it was so chilly. I was wearing a trench coat, but it was not so warm, and this area was completely open, and I didn't even have a muffler or anything. So the Wind literally hit my chest like really bad. After 2-3 days I fell sick, so that's a separate story. But at this moment we reach Manchester, I see Manchester airport. I was not really happy with the way it looked really poor, I would say. Even like our railway stations are much cleaner and much better than the Manchester airport. I'm not sure how many people will agree with me, but this is what I thought. At this moment we have our checked in luggage with us. We took our checked in luggage. I have my cabin bag, I have my backpack. So I have 2 bags in my hand and I have 1 backpack on my back. Okay, so it was really heavy. The bag that I checked in earlier was really heavy, and on top of that it was so cold. I didn't have any gloves or anything. I was not prepared for this cold weather at that moment. I did have warm clothes in my bag, like in the checked in bag that I carried, but I didn't have anything in my backpack or in my cabin bag which I could, take out or wear. So I was like, it's okay, it's fine. I'm just gonna sit in a cafe and, wait for the train. And we had to travel from Manchester to Blackpool because we got our academy in Blackpool. So we had to travel from Manchester to Blackpool around, I think, 8:30ish the train was supposed to come. So what happened was, we didn't know how to book a train online. So we went on the counter and we asked them like, what time is the train coming? And then they gave us the tentative time, and like we got 2 tickets, carried our luggage downstairs like one by one. There was this cafeteria where you could just sit down and wait for your train. Now here's what the actual story begins. So I was just sitting there, and the guy who was with me, he told me that the prices online are cheaper than the prices that they offered us. So he told me that he's gonna go and talk to the person who gave us the ticket, and he might get discount or he might cancel or maybe get a refund, and then we can book our train ticket online. So I was like, okay, fine, go, and I'll just wait for you here and I'll look after all of our luggages. And then he went, and in 5 minutes went, 10 minutes went, 15 minutes went, and then he didn't come. So I got really worried because I didn't even have a SIM card, and the Wi-Fi was also not working that well. So I tried to contact him, and then I was like, where did he go? Because I had all of his luggage with me, and he wouldn't just leave me there, right? I texted him on iMessage, and then he saw the text, and then he replied, just 2 minutes, I'll be there. I was like, okay, fine. And then he came and he told me that he booked our train online. He saved, I think, £11 or so. I was really impressed. I was like, oh my god, that's really good, because I was so overwhelmed with all of the things that were going on at that moment. I didn't really think of saving £11, but he did that, and I was like really happy. And then we waited outside. It was still so cold. We took all of our luggage outside and waited for the train to come. And after 2 to 3 minutes, I think the train came. Till this point, everything was good. We boarded the train. We kept all of our luggage together. We were just talking like, finally we are in the train. And then we were thinking like, when we reach Blackpool, how are we going to reach from the train station to our hotel? Everything was going smooth, and then I take out my phone, start to record the view of train and the outside view, and suddenly I think of my backpack. My heart just sank. The moment I realized that I don't have my backpack with me, the moment train started moving. He looked at my face, I looked at his face, and we were like, now what? And remember, I told you I had all of my documents in this bag. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know where to push that stop button. I panicked. I panicked so bad. And the next station was, I think, 10 or 15 minutes away from the first station the Manchester Piccadilly station. And I still remember that 15-minute of time, not even 15 minutes, like we went from Manchester Piccadilly to the next station and then got out of the train, and then we had to take another train which would take us back to Manchester Piccadilly, and then I would search for my bag. Okay, now that I talk about it, it doesn't seem to be a very big deal. Like, you just go out and then you take another train and then you pick your bag and then you go, right? But just think about it. I am landed in a country where I don't know anybody. I left my bag with all of my documents in a different station. I didn't know whom to call. I didn't know whom to connect with. And then all of those things are going in my head, that my parents were not okay with me coming to the UK. Okay, so I just lost my shit. Like, I was thinking, why did I do this? Why is this happening to me? I don't know, like, how I'm gonna talk to my family, how I'm gonna tell them that I did this big blunder just the moment that I landed in the UK. So anyways, we got out of the train on the next station, and then there was this one guard, like station guard, I would say. He was standing there, and then I just quickly ran to him. I asked him, like, I left my bag in the previous station. Can you please help me? Please do something about it. Is there any train that is coming? And then I can go back and, take my bag along with me. I asked him if he can call somebody, who could keep my bag safely there. I don't know if you might know this or you don't know this, but UK is not safe in view of keeping your belongings somewhere that somebody might steal it. While I was talking to the guard, he was really sweet. Like, he really helped me, and he told me that you don't have to buy another ticket. You can just use your own ticket to go back to the previous station, and then you can use the same ticket to travel back to Blackpool, right? So I was like, I don't care. Even if I have to pay right now, I would just pay, because I was just panicking a lot. We waited there for, I think, 15 to 20 minutes for the next train to come, which would take us back to the Manchester Piccadilly. So many things were going on in my head, and then finally we reached the station. And guess what? The moment I entered in that cafe where I left my bag, I didn't see my bag there, and I lost it. I literally started crying. I asked a lot of people, like, have you seen this kind of bag? I described my bag, and then I asked them, like, have you seen this bag? People would just say no, and I was like, please God, please save me, please do something about it. So meanwhile, I was asking people inside the cafeteria. The other guy who was with me, he asked the guard outside. Then he called me outside. He was like, come outside. I was like, I talked to the guard. I was like, have you seen this kind of bag? He was like really chill. He was like, yeah, I've seen it. And I asked him, like, where is it? He said, like, it's not here, but it's in the lost and found cabinet. I was like, thank you so much, so much. And I just quickly ran to the lost and found cabinet. There was this one lady sitting over there on the counter, and I asked her, like, I just pointed out on my bag. I was like, this is my bag. And she was like, calm down, lady. It's okay. It's your bag. Just take it, okay? I was like, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I literally hugged my bag when I saw it, and then I opened my bag. I had all the documents inside, and then I zipped it again, and then I went out again. And then I told the other guy that if now we have to pay for our tickets for Blackpool, I would pay for that, because he didn't have to do it. Like, he didn't have to come with me, but he was so sweet at that moment that he helped me and he came along. And I really thought that this would end right there, but I was wrong. The time that we boarded another train, the last train, and we reached Blackpool around 10 p.m. or 10:30. Everything was closed. It was the last train. Nobody was there to help us. So I went to ask another guard, like, how can we take a cab? Because usually when you are in India or somewhere, no matter if you reach somewhere in like around 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., no matter what time you reach, you would probably see a taxi outside for sure. Like, not even single, like multiple taxis everywhere. Even like small bus stops or places like that. But when we reached Blackpool, outside the train station, there was not a single taxi. We were like, oh my god, like, what to do? And my Uber app was not working at that moment because of some card issue. And then I went and asked a guy who was working there. I asked him, like, he was an old man. I asked him, like, how can I get a cab? So he gave me a number, and then he asked me to call them and then just tell them where should they come and where should they drop us. So I was like, this might work, this might not work. But it did work, and then the guy came. The taxi driver came, and then, like, it looked really spooky because everything was closed and it was so chilly, and there was this old taxi which came to pick us up. There was an old guy, and it was all really scary at the time. And I was thinking, like, thank God that I have somebody along with me. What if I was coming alone? I would just, die of fear. So we reached at the hotel, we checked in. The room that I took was so cold. Oh my god. I thought like it's gonna be like, centralized heating will be there. Everything would be okay. But when I reached there, oh my god, it was so cold, and I didn't realize at that time that I was going to get sick. So I got freshened up, and I was really tired at the time that we reached at the hotel. So I just changed, got freshened up, and then I slept. The next morning, I was supposed to go to my class at the academy, but at the night, I think around 4 or 5 a.m., I got fever. Like, it was so bad that I was shaking. So at that moment, I really thought that I made a mistake. I shouldn't have come here. Like, I should have stayed home. I should have listened to my parents, and so many things were going on in my head. Because just imagine, like, you reach a country where your parents didn't want you to go, you lose all of your documents, you struggle a lot on the day one, and now you have fever. It was like proper 103 Fahrenheit fever, and I was just dying. So I did take some medications from India with me just for emergency, not knowing that I would need it on the first day itself. In the morning, the guy who was with me there, he asked me like whether I would want to go to the class, but I was not feeling okay, so I told him that I would just watch it online and then he can just go to the class. Even I took some paracetamol, it didn't seem to work. I was just feeling so weak. I was coughing so hard, and I started taking antibiotics straight away. Because I knew like I only had 6-7 days of the classes that was offline, so I didn't want to risk it. And then I started taking antibiotics. I started taking paracetamol thrice a day. Started drinking water. But I think more than the physical pain that I was going through, I was really struggling with my mental health. Like, I was thinking, why am I here? Why am I doing this to myself? And I really should go back home. But the thing is that, I spent all of my 2 years saving on this thing. I wanted to prove myself right, and I wanted to just stay there and, pass this exam anyhow. I still remember crying in the bed on the first day of reaching UK. It was really, really hard for me. I think in the end, it's all worth it. I passed my exam. I proved myself. I don't know to whom, but I did my best as I could. I'm so happy that I took this chance and, took a leap of faith that I could do this, and went against all the odds, listened to my heart, and did what I wanted to do. That's it about this story. If you want me to post such stories, do let me know. I have hell lot of stories to tell because my life has been like a roller coaster. Yeah, I think that's it for today, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Till then, bye.